Hello and welcome back to another episode on Behind the Curve Gaming. So last video I was talking about moving on genres of games that I just don't play anymore, and one of those was the Resident Evil series. I kind of had a handful of those games. I went through them and said I was going to trade a few of them, sell a couple of the others, trade them right into CEX this Friday gone, and I was going to go through how much they got me in voucher. It's actually pretty decent. Much more, or at least it felt more worth it for voucher than it would have been trying to sell them individually. PS4 Origins Collection was £12. You can get it cheaper than that, like brand new, I'm pretty sure. Resident Evil 5 HD PS4, £12 again. Resident Evil 2 on Xbox, only £5, that's okay. And Resident Evil 7 Biohazard Gold Edition. Now this is interesting because CEX actually differentiate between the Gold Edition and the Standard Edition. The disc says Gold Edition on it. I can only assume that means that the DLC and extra content must be on the disc. Therefore, the difference in price and having two items, that's £10. That's not bad at all. So that actually came to £39 voucher. Now, before we got into what we did get, I've got a little bit of B-roll to actually run through. I went with my son, and we had a nice little morning out, to be fair. He did get a game. He got Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 on the Xbox One for £5. So I'll take that into consideration there at the end to see how much I paid. And I've got a small little stack of games right here next to me that we picked up. So first off, I'm just going to talk you through our visit and let's just have a look at what I came across during the store. So CEX Cheltenham, not quite my local, just scanning the glass, see if they got anything particularly interesting. Massive graphics card catches my eye, mega money, those things are just absolutely mad. Didn't spot they actually had some white RAM there, but it could have been expensive, who knows. Looking at they have Warhammer stuff now, it's a bit weird. The retro, I am in there for one game in particular, Wipeout 3 for PS1, so I can compare it to our Blockbuster Challenge N64 Wipeout. They got some loose cartridges, Pokemon Leaf Green there, plenty of Sega and Master System to be fair, quite a lot of retro, but when I was looking online, there was nothing that was really taking my interest, nothing in my fancy. Nothing on the list at least. We've just gone through the Terminator series with my wife, watched the first 4 films, at least got into the 5th. Tempted to pick up Terminator games, you know? Very tempted. Onto PS3, I'm always looking out for essentials and things. I do want Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition for my collection. However, we're about to come across something which I didn't know what to make of it, to be honest. Skyrim, 2 different Skyrim releases, the original and the Legendary, both on Essentials. I had no idea they had 2 different editions of Skyrim on the PS3 Essentials. That's mad. £2 and £5 respectively. Neither of them had the manual map, which just does my head in. That is unfortunately the theme of the day. However, it's a disc that matters. We have the inserts already. So I picked up, they had Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition on the Essentials. Fantastic, £12. Picked up the Legendary anyway, knowing that I've got the inners for it. It's absolutely fine. If they've got the disc, I'll have it. I'll have both of those. The other side, they've got like 4 Essentials lined up here. What is that? Skater, Sleeping Dogs, Mega Drive, something else there I didn't quite catch. Sleeping Dogs. Don't know if that's a good game. Let me know in the comments below. £2.50, might have a go at that. Wipeout HD on the PS3, £20. Too much. No manual. Not having it. As I just stipulate there. PS4 came across quite a nice cover, some slipcovers and steelbooks here. So I was checking out this Death Stranding here just to see if it was going to be a steelbook, but unfortunately just a slipcover. No idea if that in particular is worth any money. For example, £18. Oddworld Soulstorm, not my cup of tea in terms of the steelbook, but fantastic condition. Again, I don't know the prices of these, but I think this was what, £18 or something. Not my cup of tea. Persona 5, I think this was £20 again. A lovely steelbook in fantastic condition. I don't know if they're worth any more than they are asking for at the moment. But yeah, there's a few things in my CEX. And it was a nice little trip out, to be honest. We had a little look through the 360, Xbox One, so I could pick up a game for my son. And I took a handful of those games to the counter, and I've got a few of them here with me. And they had all the essential discs. Usually, I go to the desk and You know, I'm one of these people. Can you make sure that's a PS3 matching essentials disc? I don't know if I'm going for. I'm definitely not going for the full set, right? I know how difficult that is after watching Retro Ghetto's channel. I'm not trying to copy that, but as I was saying to the guy was like, "Oh, you're one of those, are you? Essentials, platinum, ugh, no thank you, yuck." And I was like, "Great, thank you so much." But there is something uniform about it. The 360 and PS3 covers and the artwork and the spines, they are just not uniform whatsoever. Different fonts, styles, colours, sizes, everything, not uniform. But get on the essentials and you have that nice bit of uniformity there. You've got that red border, and it certainly stands out amongst a normal games collection. So I am interested in that, and there's always the case of, well, it's going to be the last release of the game. I don't know if they come with DLC automatically or whether the discs are any different, but in theory they should at least come with the last update of the game. So yeah, I am interested in them. They do catch my eye. Did pick up a few, so let's go through them right now, shall we? So the one that I'm going to compare to Wipeout 64 that I said in my last Blockbuster Challenge video, episode 2, if you go check it out if you want to watch that. Wipeout 3 for the PS1. This is causing me an absolute ball ache at the moment. Put it into a PS3. Freezes. Yep, Google it, it will freeze. Common issue. People say put it into PS2. I dig out a PS2, put it in that. Doesn't even load up. Brilliant, I just get to the PlayStation splash screen. Fantastic. Yeah. So this is complete. However, the case is not in brilliant condition, but now that I've got a few PS1 dual cases, it is not beyond the wit of man to obviously change these out. It's simple enough. If you're careful, you can get the front covers and everything out. Instructions, little memory card leaflet there, analog stick compatible, and then obviously the disc itself in decent enough condition. £20. I didn't look online to see how much these go for at all. All I wanted to do in that last episode, episode 2 of Blockbuster Challenge, I simply stated that I want to get whatever PS1 Wipeout I can basically get hold of, compare it against. And I looked in both my locals, Gloucester and Cheltenham, to see if they had Wipeout. Cheltenham still had this. I thought, okay, sod it. I'm going to have a voucher to cover that. No brainer, go and get it. Issues so far, £20 out of my £39 voucher. Sleeping Dogs, I picked it up for £2.50 as an essentials collection. Right disc, right instruction manual. It has an instruction manual. Let me know if that is a decent game, and it looks pretty decent. Might have a go at that. Looks like fun. Again, they had the Skyrim Legendary Edition. Brilliant, fantastic. No inners, but I'm pretty sure I've got it in my collection down here somewhere. Possibly, who knows. Yeah, but matching disc, that is correct and absolutely fine. There must be so many releases of Skyrim. I'll put in right now how many releases of Skyrim there has been. Honestly. Really happy with this one. I didn't think I'd come across this one. Again, I've got no idea if these essentials have any more value than their sticker price, or even if CEX are overcharging at this point. £12 Game of the Year edition, Fallout 3 on essentials. That has been on the list. That was my first Fallout game that I really got into in a big way. Absolutely love that game. £10 on the 360, which is a superior version, because I remember playing the standard PS3 Fallout 3 this year, and it kept on freezing on me after like a certain point, kept crashing. I do not know if there's some sort of memory leak going on. It kept on crashing, it was awful, and I know that Fallout 3 is not exactly the smoothest of experiences in the first place. It was worse than PS3, but yeah. And I managed to snag, they had a standard one next to it, I managed to snag the instruction booklet, sue me. So yeah, we're getting pretty close to that voucher limit at the moment, and we're about to be tipped over. Well, only just at least, I guess. This one caught my eye. I did get an Xbox 360 game. Now, I do not collect these, but I know from a couple other people's channels and stuff that if you see a washed out looking spine, that doesn't necessarily mean that it is some sort of sun damage washed out spine. It is actually a promotional copy. For whatever reason, the artwork and the spine are this kind of like weird washed out sun damage kind of vibe going on, and the back's completely normal. I've got no idea what's going on with that. This didn't have the manual or anything in it, however, I actually have the manual and the poster that came with the game from 360 already, so I do have another copy, and it came with the correct promotional copy disc, so happy days. It is very rare that you pick up sometimes one Essentials disc and say, can you make sure it's got the matching disc, or can you look for the matching disc please? It'll just have that red Essentials on it as well. A lot of people obviously don't know what they're looking at, or looking for at least, and they say, no, sorry, I can't find it. So you get 3 Essentials and a promotional, and they all have the matching discs. Bloody hell, that's some luck, right? So yeah, I'm really happy with those. What did I pay in total? Someone do some quick math. 3, 550, 1050.
1 eternity later.
2250. 4250. Yeah, something like that. So I paid like, yeah. So I paid £8.50. Take off the £5 for the game that I got for my son. I paid £3.50 for these after trading in those Resident Evil games that I had never touched. I have since put on the Resident Evil 6 and Resident Evil 4 steelbooks, both on eBay for like 15-20 quid each. They're both complete and actually really good condition. So I'm quite confident that I'll get a pretty strong price for those. So again, bringing a bit more money back into the channel. Happy days. So I have a PS1 on the way. Basically, I don't have a PS1. I never intended to have a PS1 because I thought, right, PS3, essentially fully backwards compatible, 99.9%. It's not quite, I think. I don't know if there's any missing on the PS2 that won't work, but I know that there are several on the PS1 that won't work. This apparently being one of them. Yeah, bummed that it didn't work on the PS2. However, I have, since installing my kind of like retro console shelf, always had a gap here which will hopefully fit a PS1. I do hope it will. And then that'll go on the TV, on the CRT TV. So happy days. It's going to come with a few really old school 90s accessories. I think I paid £50, which sounds strong, but it comes with a few accessories. A couple of controllers, I think. I would like a funky controller because they're quite cheap. You can get like the clear or whatever controllers you can get for those for like £8-10. The CEX are really cheap, which is cool. So I will hopefully be able to play that relatively. So that'll be in a video in itself. Checking that it obviously all works and everything. Never intended to get a PS1. That's how things have happened. Again, selling those steelbooks there will basically pay over half, hopefully, towards getting that. So that's something, even if it is retroactively, because I've paid for that and not sold these yet. It is what it is. And yeah, that will sum up this video. So I hope you enjoy that little CEX trip out that I had. Actually did manage to capture some B-roll, so happy days. More to come to the channel yet. I've already got a couple more videos on the go. So please like, comment, and subscribe as always. And I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.